Hi there, welcome back. My name is QB. I am here to explain more about getting people ready for Steal the Skies for the last little bit. This episode is not going to be about lore, but is about going to be the how to use the Google Docs, the sheets. Everyone that's in the Discord should be able to view these documents and further to look around to find out. It is supposed to be in conjunction with the rule set, with the rule book that's also in the what channel was that? Why am I blanking on this? On the Rules and Docs channel, yeah. So this is all in the Steal the Skies Rolling Thundaga Discord server, and I'm just going to quickly run through it. So just in case anyone wants to go through these just to peruse and everything like that. So the first page, so we're going to go through the job sheet. Like always, these videos are unedited and unscripted. So let's get right on in. So the job sheet. In original Final Fantasy in the FFRPG 3rd edition, you pick your job. Let's say you pick Archer, and you get all of these at the level that they say that you get them. There's not really a choice at that point. It's just straight down the line, you get what you get. However, I played this system a good chunk of that, and I don't want to see people have to do the same thing over and over again. It's fun a couple of times, like twice, but I want to change it up a little bit. So I came up with job point system. There is job points and key points. Key points are in the base rulebook, but job points are new. They're also very thematic, given that you have the license board in 12, job points from items in Tactics or Tactics Advanced and Tactics Advanced 2, and then you have job points from your jobs and classes in Tactics. So, yeah, so I want to make that be the system for this campaign because it's thematic and new and interesting. So, this first page right here, this is the general rules about how everything goes, and everything with very and anything new is or exceptional is here. So for example, every level up you get 1 job point. You can spend 1 key point to gain a job point, but you can't spend a job point to get a key point. If you didn't take the advantage to be able to equip a weapon that's not in your job's description, you can still spend job points to be able to learn a new weapon. So if you're playing around with swords, you're like, this is fun. And then you come across like a pistol, and you're like, oh, this is new, this is cool, I want to use this. You have to spend the job points to be able to be proficient with it. Also, due to the fact that you can spend job points to get any ability and spell that you want, every class now has a magic die. So everyone has MP now. And so the importance of choosing your job now is that it will determine your maximum attribute value, your HP die, MP die, the weapons and armor that you can equip, accuracy bonus, skill points, and wilderness. Those are the main things that it chooses. But the other important thing that it chooses is the cost for abilities. So the JP cost in-house is how much these abilities cost for you if you are of that job. If you're not of that job, then it is in the other section. So let's say you are an archer, take aim and charge +1 will cost you 1 job point each. But if you are not an archer, they will cost 5 and 7 points, respectively. And so you can save up to mix and match multi-class, do what you need to, and it'll be great, it'll be fun. the main caveat is that you have to be a certain level, whether you're in-house or out-of-house, no matter what. You have to be that level to be able to take up that to take that ability. So warriors have a lot of the main normal abilities that you think about through Final Fantasy. They have some specialized stuff, especially samurai. Okay, yeah, it's mostly all samurai to make them more viable. Instead of having, because so we're going to get into this into the crafting part, but the equipment section that's in the FRPG rules book, you can't really buy those anymore. You have to craft all of your items. And the jobs and the abilities from samurai jobs are based off of having a specific item. So if you get something that's better, but you still want to use a lower equipment ability, you just have to still hold on to that sword. Which, not too terribly enthused about it. Like, that's how it's done in tactics, but not too terribly enthused about it. But so instead, these are kata. Kata martial arts. They're specific. Like from the outside, they're like dances, but they're meditative, pre-performed movements. So instead, you can keep as many or as little of the weapons that you want. But if you have the kata for it, then you can use those abilities. If you know the kata, you can use those abilities. Next up, we have the expert classes, which has a lot of caveats to them. A lot of different caveats to them. So, characters that learn abilities that use the expertise must have that skill of expertise trained. Otherwise, that ability won't work. I would prefer that you have anything that you have expertise in. Any abilities that use expertise. And if you have multiple of those, that you have them at the same level and the same skill point rating, so that things don't get complicated and confusing. That is my advice. Unless there's another way to do it, that's pretty much how it is. So, yeah. That would be great when things get more complicated. If people want to have all the expertise classes. I ask that for both of our sanities. Please refrain, but also maybe it'll be useful. Next up, Mimes. Mimes are very interesting. They're very important in Final Fantasy V. But in a lot of other Final Fantasies, they're not. They're kind of a joke class. So to make them more viable, they have one ability, Mime, Mimic. It's the classic of the Mime stuff. But you can purchase. But Mimes can purchase jobs abilities for one less than normal. So a ability that costs 10 to be able to purchase can now cost 9 for you. Also, you can use any equipment you want without spending JP, just to harken it back to Freelance and Mimes from Final Fantasy V. Next up, all invention rules still apply, except if you learn an invention tier level, you can make as many inventions as you want in that tier. So, that rule is because with the engineer, you can make one tier 1 invention, one tier 2 invention, one tier 5 invention, but I don't really like how that's done in the base rule set, so Gill's going to be a little hard to come by as it is in this series. But if you are able to come by it, you can have your tier 7 invention. If you know how to make tier 7 inventions at level 43, you can make as many as you want. I don't want to stop you from doing that. Gill Snapper allows the thief to steal Gill up to the enemy's level once per target on humanoid enemies. Yeah, I might We could say that humans have Gill. I might rework that rule. We'll see. We'll see. Next up, we have mages. We have a lot of mages. We have the color spells, we have dual cast, blue learning, and we have spell mages, and we have summons, which is very special. So in the base rule set, there are callers and there are summoners. Summoners are like Yuna, where they have a lot of where the summon comes in, fights instead of the summoner itself, while a caller is like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 4, where it comes in, does a big attack, and then leaves. And so, because callers are supposed to be like a black collar, white collar, where they have a mixture of summons and spells. They have theirs is going to cost a little bit more than summoners, which are supposed to just have a plethora of summons that come in. The main difference is that in Ivalice, summons like this from the job itself, summons are only calls. So you're definitely... So summons are super cheap for summoners because they're not as powerful as the base rule set, and they don't have the in-house costs for their spell magic. So to make up for it, summoners can get a lot more summons for the same amount of JP. Especially compared to other people, where summons are really expensive, but can be very powerful. But yeah, anyone can pick up dual cast, which is a little bit scary. We'll see how that goes. For blue magic, you have to learn blue learning first. You have to figure out, like, you have to be able to watch enemies, monsters be able to use blue magic before you can use it yourself. So if you have blue learning and you have you don't have enough JP to get more stuff, you basically watch a monster do a thing, and that's basically on your repertoire of things that you can learn. And once you have the JP, you're like, aha, now I know how to, now I'm going to spend these to learn how to do transfusion and stuff like that. And Elemental Blade, just like in the base rule set, it is specifically designed for you spend the MP, code it onto your weapon once, and then it, for that attack only, that spell affects your blade and your attack. Next up, do we have any special things for... No, nothing special for adept jobs. So yeah, adept jobs, mostly just same, fine as everything. Yeah, just base rulebook. Last page is ranges and AoEs. So there's movements, there's jump. If there is an AoE to anything, and you have, and it is a line-to-line combat, we'll get to that in a future video, then it will affect specific groups, which I will pull them together into specific sections so that you know who is in a group. Otherwise, each ability, or most abilities, have their own ranges, their own AoEs, their own vertical. I do want to specifically preface that this vertical is based off of the vertical of once the AoE hits. So if you have a spell, where are they at? Yeah, so if you have a spell that has an AoE effect, and a vertical 2, you can hit anything within a reasonable distance, which I'm probably going to have to put that down in the extra rules for ranges, if I didn't already. Basically, anywhere within like 20 squares or something like that, you can hit it, But if you hit a square that's like elevation, that has like 15 elevation above you, and an enemy right next to it is 12 elevation above you, it will not hit both of them because the vertical is based off of the sensor of the AoE. And yeah, so you have weapons. Each weapon's range, if it's more than one, your movement, your extra jump, and these are for your jobs, and extra range rules. We're doing a mixture of line and map combat, so I want to reincorporate optional rules from the FRPG. There's your move calculation is 2 plus your speed divided by 5. Your jump calculation is 2 plus agility divided by 5. Plus whatever bonuses are on this page. If there is no listing for an ability, it targets one person at the same range as your regular attack. IFF is if friendly or foe. If it says yes, then it only targets friend or foe. If it does not say yes, then it can target anyone that's in square within range. And so that there's coding for this, because I know it can be weird. One square of horizontal is 1 meter long, and 1 square of elevation is half a meter. So 2 elevation is the same as 1 square forward. Also, new map rules is that, and so there's also a lot of new map rules, so that you can, instead of just running around, I stand here, I do my thing, you can take cover. You can go into prone if you have a crossbow or a rifle. You can run up to someone who is prone and have extra, and have an advantage on hitting them. Critical hits cause a square of knockback. So you can position yourself if you have high amount of a high chance for critical hit, position yourself to knock someone off of a tall surface, and there's fall damage. All of this is supposed to go in conjunction with the abilities here, so that you can choose which abilities you want. Basically, scour through these, be like, what seems interesting? What do I have the job points for? And then go through all these, be like, oh, I want this. I want this specific ability. I want a dual wield. That seems like fun. And then you save up, and then you spend it, and then you have it. And yeah, that's how to use the job sheet. I'll see you all later. We'll get into crafting sheet next. Bye-bye.